Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to the conversation. So you can see the setup is a little bit different. You know, we're shooting this from one of our offices here in Nigeria. But anyway, as I said, we're going to be getting back to more standardized, background. Before, as I said, I'll travel to London, so that's the reason why you saw that setup. Nevertheless, you know, we're happy for all the feedback that we got from you guys. You guys seem to be enjoying the video. We thank you guys for all the support that you've been giving us thus far. So, what I want to get into today is, a bit controversial, but I'm sure a lot of you guys want to hear me talk about it. So the question is, if Kawhi Leonard wins the chip this year, should Nick Wright be banned from talking basketball? Now, first of all, let me just say this, okay? I don't necessarily enjoy making videos about Nick Wright. Let me just say that. There are other things that I find more interesting to talk about in these, with these basketball topics. However, me, like you guys, I follow these other, sports media companies and sports media channels. So when you watch the games and you listen to these guys make their predictions and make these strong, bold predictions, and when, at the aftermath, at the end of that, when you see that they're wrong, all of us are looking for a little bit of contrition. All of us are saying, okay, look, you were wrong. Are you going to admit it? But in, most cases, these guys never seem to be able to own up to the fact that they're wrong. And that's where people get turned off, I believe. And that's when people start leaving comments in the comment section and say, hey, listen, man, somebody got to say something. Somebody got to say something. And that's where I step in. And DreamersPro provides you guys with the counterbalance, with the counterbalance, and provides you guys with a fresh take on what's happening in the NBA, because we know these guys are not going to come on TV and say, hey, I was wrong. So therefore, DreamersPro, we have to point it out for you guys to create some balance. So as you guys know, the Clippers have been on a 6-game winning streak up until this point. It all depends on when you're watching this video, okay? But thus far, they're on a 6-game winning streak. Now, if we look at the regular season standings right now, currently as we're shooting this video, the Clippers are the number 2 seed in the Western Conference with a 43-19 record behind the Lakers, who will have a 48-13 record, who are also on a 3-game winning streak, and actually 9 out of 1 in their last 10 games. So the Lakers are doing pretty good as well. Nevertheless, in these last 6 games, the Clippers have had some very important victories. Now, before I get into that, let me just put all of this into context. For all of the Clippers fans that watch this video, or new Clippers fans, or Kawhi Leonard fans, or whoever is watching this video, we all know the story of the Clippers over the last, pretty much for the entire season. And the story has been, what is up with the Clippers? They seem to be inconsistent. And I've told people on many occasions, including on our podcast, I've told you guys that the number one reason the Clippers are having problems has been due to their health or lack of availability of their entire roster. And now they have their full complement of players, and you're seeing that the story is a little bit different. Obviously, they've decided to ramp it up because look at the time, given the point that we are in the regular season in March, it's time for players to start ramping it up because the playoffs are just around the corner. So this is the time you want to start hitting your stride, and we're beginning to see just that, exactly that from the Clippers. So over the last 6 games, I'm just going to give you guys the last 4 games that they won. They recently beat the Denver Nuggets 132-103. Now, why is that important? Because the Denver Nuggets are currently the number 3 seed, and the Clippers have passed them up for that record, for that spot to get to the number 2 spot. The other win that they had was against the Thunder. Now, the Thunder are also a great team, and they're also looking like most likely they're going to be, in the playoffs, because currently, as we're doing this video, the Thunder are the number 6 seed in the Western Conference. Then they beat the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, granted, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid didn't play, but they've also beat that team when the 2 of them have played. Then they played against the Houston Rockets, where a lot of people, including Shannon Sharp and Nick Wright, who picked the Rockets and say the Rockets are going to win this game because I believe the Rockets are a better team than the Clippers. You all know, you all see Nick Wright when he's talking. He has a straight face, and if you look at him and you think, okay, well, he has a straight face, he's wearing a suit, so this guy, he's on TV, so obviously he must be right, and obviously he was wrong. When the aftermath of that game came out, when the next day, watching First Things First, me, like all of you guys, were watching to see what was Nick Wright going to say about the outcome of that game. And true to form, as all business as usual, listen to Nick Wright. He gave the Clippers an underhanded compliment and then started going off into this whole thing of why the Rockets underperformed. And I was just watching him speak, and I was saying to myself, damn, will this dude ever give the Clippers their credit? And it made me wonder, even if the Clippers, after they play the Lakers again for the third time, even if the Clippers beat the Lakers again, I'm pretty much sure that Nick Wright is going to come on TV the next day with a straight face and tell us why he believes that the Lakers are better than the Clippers, even though the Clippers have already beaten the Lakers 2 times, all 2 times that they played this season. So this brings me to a larger question. And the question is, and I'm damn serious about this, should Nick Wright be banned from talking about basketball if the Clippers lose this regular season? And I'm serious. And here's the reason why I'm asking you guys this question. You guys know, all of us make predictions, okay? And all of us are prone to be wrong because we're not fortune tellers. None of us, I'm not Nostradamus. I don't know about you guys, but I can't predict the future. However, we can all infer. We can say, based on what we've seen, based on what we think X, Y, and Z is gonna occur, right? We all do that. And it's normal because we all have to make predictions, especially in this type of industry that we're in sports. Now, where you begin to lose people is when you're wrong and you're not able to admit that you're wrong. I think that's the part where people get turned off. Again, I've said this on numerous occasions. There's nothing wrong with being wrong, okay? What's wrong is that you don't admit it. All of us are prone to be wrong, but when you start, once it becomes a habit of you never admitting that you're wrong and say, hey, listen, I thought this was gonna happen, turned out this was gonna happen, give the team that won that game, give them the credit that they deserve, then people respect you. People are much more likely to listen to you again in the future because they say, okay, you know what, this guy has the he makes predictions. Granted, he could be wrong, but at least he's willing to own up to them. But that's the complete opposite of what Nick Wright does. Nick Wright is to the point where if the Lakers can go out and win 10 and lose 10 of the next games, and he'll stand up on TV and say, I still believe the Lakers are the best team in the NBA. And that's where it turns people on. So since we're on our way going into the playoffs, I'm beginning to wonder because I, and like some of you guys, have picked the Clippers to come out of the Western Conference and actually win the entire, win the NBA championship this season. Now, if we go into the playoffs and Nick Wright still holds his position that the Lakers are the #1 team in the world and they're going to win the championship, if they lose to the Clippers, I think Nick Wright should at the very least not be allowed to talk about the Clippers at all. Because you can't spend an entire season making bold predictions as to why you think this team is going to underperform. Then they win and then still get to sit there and talk and give your opinion on it because you have no credibility on the topic anymore. You can't just be consistently wrong and still be given a platform to talk about something that you're always wrong about. And that's the reason why a lot of people in the comment section are so sick of listening to Nick Wright talk about the Clippers. Now, if we look at the Clippers, if we look at them this season, as currently we're shooting this video, the Clippers are one of the top top teams in rebounding. They're #3 in rebounding. They're also in top 5 in scoring, so they have a lot of balance. So when Nick Wright, constantly talks about their lack of size, they don't have enough size, and they don't have any rim protection. If you guys watched that game against Houston, you saw that Zubac and Montrezl Harrell did a fantastic job protecting the rim. And these guys, when you go in there, they're going to put their hands on you. They're a very physical team. They get after you. The Clippers are a very physical team, starting from the 1 all the way down to the 5, beginning with Patrick Beverley, who was gritty as hell. Then you have Paul George, who's an all-world defender. Then you have Kawhi Leonard, who's a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Then you have Morris. Then you have Harold. These guys just come at you in waves. Waves and waves and waves and waves. And this is the team that Nick Wright constantly feels comfortable about, predicting against and saying, hey, you know what? They're the 3rd best team in the NBA. I don't know how the hell he got to that assumption that they're the 3rd best team in the NBA when they've beaten the Lakers twice this season. But I think that if the Clippers win the NBA title, and if Nick Wright comes on TV the next day and starts to give the Clippers underhanded compliments and not at the very least admit that he was wrong about the Clippers and say, hey, listen guys, you know what? I know all season long for the past 8 months, I've been saying that the Clippers and not what we think they are, that the Lakers are better than the Clippers. If he doesn't come on TV and say, hey, listen, I was wrong and I have to give them credit, give credit where credit is due. Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the world. He did it to me once again for the second straight year in a row. If he doesn't do any of these things, then I think Nick Wright should be banned from talking about basketball. At the very least, banned about talking about the Clippers, because you have no more credibility on this topic. And that's what I think should happen. But what I want to know from you guys is quite simple. If Nick Wright continues to be wrong about Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers, do you think that he should still have the platform to be able to come on TV every day and sit down and give his predictions and give his takes on the Clippers? Or do you think that he should be banned from talking about the Clippers or basketball altogether? That's what I want to know from you guys, and I'm dead serious about this. So, guys, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified when all of our newest and hottest content comes out. Once again, this is Charles here from DreamersPro, wishing you guys an amazing day. Peace.